여러분.
This is how we do when my homies go.
You're listening to Gecko Radio, Jeju Morning Alternative. Good morning, Jeju. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. How you doing out there? And yay, the wife is well. That's how it's written in the script. I don't just say like the wife. Okay, and she's the writer. She wrote this. Okay, please don't get me into trouble. Maybe you should. She's trying to get me into trouble. Welcome back, everybody. Pardon me. Yes, head writer Jung-in Choi is back. Hooray, finally. Yes, she made it back from Seoul, which means the house feels normal again. The head writer has returned, and I no longer have to panic alone trying to keep this show together. Oh, Sherry is here. Good morning, Annyeong. Good morning, Sherry. We missed you. You weren't here for a couple days. Welcome back, Sherry. Yes, and speaking of surviving, wow, the rain has really settled in last night, and unfortunately, it looks like we're in for a pretty soggy stretch here in Jeju. We're going to talk about that more during our weather segment. Okay, so here's what's coming up on today's show. First, we'll take a look at the weather around Jeju to help you plan out your Monday. Oh no, this is a Tuesday to plan out your Tuesday, followed by the question of the day. Hint, it has something to do with a village. Okay, something to do with a village. And then we are going to move into Jeju News Briefing. And somebody got to where they aren't supposed to be. We're going to learn about that during the news. And then we're going to learn what's going down in the GEC. There's a new book coming out. And also some SJA parents did a really cool thing with an local animal shelter. Then we are moving on to Island Icons. That is our Wednesday segment. Yes, it is Wednesday segment. And I previously said Tuesday, even though the script said Monday, but it is Wednesday. So Wednesday segment is Island Icons. That's where we feature a really cool, amazing person in history, whether it be proper history or recent history, someone of major importance and somebody who is just did a great thing for Jeju and their movements, okay? And then we will wrap things up with Jeju Word of the Day, where we learn a word or expression from the Jeju language. Yes, Sherry Russell has been barely keeping her head above water with a huge onslaught of fresh depositions. Yes, that is her job. Jung-yoon, she barely keeps her head above water because she's a Haenyeo. Yeah, I'm a funny guy. Okay, tell you what, why don't we start things off with our first artist of the day. We are super excited to secure these guys. I sent a message to them yesterday. I asked them, hey, we love your work. We've loved your work for a long time. These guys are proper Jeju artists, and they are more than happy to share their music with us. So I'm super excited for their official debut. This is westealoranges, amazing dudes, super young, super cool. They bring this awesome energy and they're amazing live. Okay, so it's westealoranges and this is Orange Savage.
너의 맘이 어떤지 나는 너무 궁금해 달픈 맘 한켠 내다 박아두고 새까만 밤이 올 때면 우린 춤을 춰야 해 Cause we are gonna steal our engine 가만히 앉아 있을 순 없어 내 얘길 들어줄 누군가를 찾아 But talking to myself 네가 눈에 들기 전까지 tonight I'm gonna steal all you If I whisper to you 나도 모르는 새 When we dance with you 리듬 속에 몸을 던져 날개 놓친 넌 날 안아줘 오늘 밤은 someone의 romance yeah 기분은 tropical baby Hey 너의 맘이 어떤지 안에다 박아두고 새까만 밤이 올 때면 우린 춤을 춰야 해 Cause we are gonna steal our ending 궁금해 What's your type? Who's your favorite? Ay. I know it's too 식상물 원하던 You're gonna pay for it Babe please talk to me 적어도 다리 지칠 때까진 ay. Why you tryna be shy babe 잡히 훔쳐 반짝이는 너의 눈 여길 다 얼게 해프렸지 다시 마주하게 된다면 너 진짜 각오해야 해 Cause I'm savage 일방적인 걸 원해 너의 맘은 이미 여기 담긴 orange 보여줘 너의 hurry 그리야 뭐제 let's get down 너의 맘이 어떤지 나는 너무 궁금해 해달픈 밤 한켠에다 박아두고 새까만 밤이 올 때면 우린 춤을 춰야 해 Savage. 너의 맘은 오렌지 소린 그걸 전부 savage 너의 맘은 orange 소린 그걸 전부 savage 너의 맘은 오렌지 소린 그걸 전부
You're listening to the GEC's very own Gecko Radio, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Jeju Morning Alternative. That's right, Monday through Friday, Jeju Alternative, Jeju Morning Alternative, that is 7 a.m. That was 감귤서리단, or westealoranges, Orange Savage. They are awesome. We're so happy to have them on. You're going to hear more of their work. You're going to hear a lot more work. We got the permission. You're going to hear a lot more of their stuff. They totally fit our vibe, and they're just like, they are so Jeju. You know, it's what it really matches our vibe here in Gecko Radio. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, Sherry Russell, she's blown up the chat here. She said she went to the doctors and, you know, I guess the doctor's a little confused what's going on. Best of luck. I hope that goes okay. You know, she also says we're talking about the blue-ringed octopus, and she watched a movie today with one of those in it. Yeah, yep. So yeah, blue-ringed octopus. You know, be on the lookout. We'll let you know if there are any sightings around the island for sure. Maybe we'll let you know some, if you are on Jeju, maybe some numbers to contact too. So welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Mark Wilson Choi, joining you live from the Global Education City right here on Jeju Island. The chat is a little bit, you know, the viewer count is going to be a little bit lower today because a lot of the GEC kids are still sleeping in. It is their late day. Wednesday is their late day, so they go in late. But that's okay. If you're here, this is fine. And we're totally happy and thankful that you've joined us. If you are a student of the GEC or a mom of the GEC, that's awesome that you're still here with us, even though you could sleep in. So well done. Well done. So what is Gecko Radio? It's Jeju's all English morning show coming to you from the island and made for the GEC community, expats here and abroad, English learners, parents, students, teachers, and anyone who likes their morning with a bit of Jeju local flavor. That's our tagline. We're going to keep saying it for like the first 6 months because hopefully we just get more and more new listeners and viewers. Okay, we talk weather, local headlines, events, news, culture, local news like the GEC stuff, and Jeju life, and of course a little music to get the day moving, much like We Still Oranges, a lot of local music. And that's one thing that a lot of a lot of my friends have been saying, they're like, bro, the music is really good. And yes, it is very good. It is very good. And I'm very proud that we have this kind of music playing here. Yeah. So if you're on the school run or making coffee or driving through Daejeong, or if you're Haenyeo prepping for the day, yes, we're glad to hear. Okay. Again, I'm the producer, I'm the DJ. I kind of do a bit of the writing and I frantically type stuff and move stuff around. So you'll see my eyes moving around all the time. And Jung Yoon is my partner in crime. She is the writer at Jeju Jade. So please check her stuff out. She's always posting online with her adventures. She's up in Seoul a lot. She's diving as a Haenyeo a lot. So her Instagram is really cool to look at. And she also puts some really once again, if you haven't seen her dolphin video, do check that out. Now, speaking of cool stuff, we just got this image just in, and we are super proud to put. I got to put this in real time, so let's just drop it in right now. Boop. Well, too big, but that I kind of have to make it big. So let's put it inside the TV here. Beep. There we go. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see? Guys, how cool is this, yo? How cool is this? This is from Malang Forest, okay? Our good friends at Malang Forest who just had the clothing exchange. But check it out. They have a gecko. Oh, and our dogs are super excited about it, okay? They have a gecko. And, and yes, thank you, writer JY Jade, removing one of the dogs because they got in a fight. They have a dog. They have a dog. They do have a dog, but they also have a gecko named Jige, and he is a big supporter of Gecko Radio. Check that out. I mean, we've done it. We've done it. We don't have to do any more episodes. This is it. We're done. We actually have a gecko mascot, a true real life gecko mascot through Jige. Thank you so much, Jige, and thank you so much, Malang Forest, for supporting us. Seriously, that is so awesome. That's great. Great to see. Okay, so let's move right along here into the weather.
What's the weather like in Jeju? We're gonna tell you what to do if it's sunny or rainy or calling typhoons. What's the weather like in Jeju?
What'd you think of that? What'd you think of that weather break? I did that yesterday. I made that yesterday. I taught myself how to harmonize. So there's no sound editing to that. It's just me layering my voice in 5 different octaves. I taught myself how to be a barbershop quintet. It took a lot of trial and error, but what do you think of that break? Super funny to make. All right, so let's look at the weather around Jeju for Wednesday, May 20th. Today is looking wet, cloudy, and a little unsettled around the island. Daejeong is starting off mild, around 19 to 20 degrees, but rain is expected on and off through the day. So yes, an umbrella is back on duty. Temperatures should stay in the low 20s, so it won't feel cold, but with the clouds, rain, and humidity, it may feel a bit heavy and damp outside. Now, around the island, Jeju City is looking overcast with possible showers or isolated thunderstorms with highs in the low 20s. Once again, this is degrees Celsius, okay? We had somebody yesterday who was asked about it in the comments in one of their videos, and yep, Korea uses Celsius, so this is degrees Celsius, okay? Seogwipo should also stay cloudy and rainy at times with similar mild temperatures. Seongsan and the East Coast may see cloud cover and passing rain as well, but don't trust any brief bright patches too much. The air quality looks moderate, but the bigger issue today is definitely the wet weather and slippery roads. Yes, roads are super slippery. Be careful out there, guys. So the big picture, we have mild temperatures, cloudy skies, rain on and off, and classic humid Jeju spring weather. Keep the umbrella close. Take it slow on the roads, especially, Jeju around the GEC, we just have so many narrow, windy roads. And now that I have a brand new pickup truck, I realize like how small those and narrow those roads can be. Okay, so do be careful, you guys. Maybe save the long outdoor walk for another day. I don't know. In case you're unless you're like our hardcore hiker, you know what I mean? I know a lot of hikers, they hike rain or shine, you know what I mean? So if you're hiking out there, just probably take a poncho, you know what I mean? One of the plastic ponchos or a raincoat. Just be careful out there, okay? All right. Why don't we move on to our question of the day? Let's put it up. Beep. There we go. Okay, question of the day. All right, which Jeju location is home to exhibitions featuring traditional Haenyeo tools, bultak, culture, diving history, and even real-life stories from Jeju women divers? Okay, once again, which Jeju location is home to exhibitions featuring traditional Haenyeo tools, bultak culture, diving history, and even real-life stories from Jeju women divers, or we know them as Haenyeo, right? Is it A, Jeju Stone Park, B, Sungup Folk Village, C, Jeju Haenyeo Museum, or D, Jeju National Museum? Okay, once again, I'll read the question and the answers. Which Jeju location is home to exhibitions featuring traditional Haenyeo tools, bultak culture, diving history, and even real-life stories from Jeju women divers? Is it A, Jeju Stone Park, B, Sungup Folk Village, C, Jeju Haenyeo Museum, or D, Jeju National Museum? We will reveal the answer after this song. This is going to be CYRRCA with CHU NOW featuring SUMIN.
Call you waiting. Call you. Call you waiting. Yeah, what you do now? Call you when I pick up from the booth now. Got a pot of flowers waiting for my boo now. After school now, what you do now? You got me lifted off the ground, smoking on air. Hear your voices in the sound that I'm hearing everywhere. If I go back again, I do it all the same. My phone's buzzing with some ringing, but I don't hear a thing. Yeah, what you do now? I'm just straight waiting here on you now. Woke up caught up in blues now. Roll up caught up with you now.
우주까지 눈 마주치고 기다리는 싫어 집에 가기 싫어 숨어 뒤 나의 눈은 밤비같이 자기 우리 둘 속삭여 비밀 얘기 언제든 말만에 달려가지 God that says like innovating like a pop dream I awaken I awaken I awaken ooh and what you do now call you when I pick up from the booth now got a pot of flowers waiting for my boo school now, what you do now, yeah, yeah. 두 눈을 감고 멀리 날아가자 우리 둘이
두 눈을 뜨고 가까이 있자 우리 둘이
창밖소라는 내 눈을 떠나
그건 네가 나 부르는 소리였네
저 물결 위로 춤추는 빛 우리들 같아 훔쳐봐
Meet me more. You are listening to Gecko Radio in the morning.
That's right. That's Gecko Radio in the morning. That break always kind of cracks me up. Because somebody's like, what is that? I love it. It's staying. Welcome back. If you are joining us, good morning, good morning, good morning, Suk Young. Welcome, welcome. And it's nice. Yeah, saying hi to each other. That's awesome. Sherry asked, hey, how did you learn to harmonize? Harmonized with myself. I just layered the voices over, so I sang it. I heard the sound sample of the music, and then I just sang it over once, and then I tried to hit a different octave. I am not a music major. I can't even read music, but I just grew up. My parents are quite old. They're in their 80s, and they grew up in the 50s and earlier. And so I grew up listening to that kind of music. So I just embodied my inner like old style, oldies, 1950s, 1960s style music to, Beach Boys and all that sort of stuff to get the harmony in. So yes, yes, yes. All right. Yeah, if you really enjoy that music, please do check out our or not our comment, the description. It's got all their YouTube links. I not sure. I don't use Spotify to gather the music, so I'm not sure if it's on Spotify. But yeah, do check it out on our comment section, our description section. It's got all the links directly to those music videos. So do check them out, okay? All right. So moving on to the question of the day. Let's get the answer, okay? Once again, okay, which Jeju location is home to exhibitions featuring traditional Haenyeo tools, Bultak culture, diving history, and even real-life stories from Jeju women divers? Okay, is it A, Jeju Stone Park, B, Sungup Folk Village, C, Jeju Haenyeo Museum, or D, Jeju National Museum? Pardon me. I believe that Sherry said E, all of the above. Ah, you're one of those. Okay, all of the above. Well, unfortunately, it's just one. It's just one for today. Okay, the answer. Anybody else would like to guess? Okay, anybody else? All right, the answer is C, Jeju Haenyeo Museum. Jeju Haenyeo Museum. Located out in Sewa on the northeast side of the island, the museum does a really great job of showing that Haenyeo culture is much more than just diving. I've been there maybe 3 or 4 times. I've been there several times. Inside, you'll find traditional diving tools, recreated bultak warming areas. We're going to talk about that later for Jeju Word of the Day. Old photographs, oral histories, and exhibits showing how Haenyeo communities help support entire families and villages through incredibly difficult work in the sea. And honestly, one of the most powerful things about the museum is realizing how physically demanding and dangerous this lifestyle really was and still is. Yes. Jung-yoon, a writer, JY, will tell you that much. Many Haenyeo started diving as teenagers and spent decades working in rough ocean conditions without oxygen tanks. And they still do. They still do. A surprising number of people don't realize that the Haenyeo, they also don't use snorkels either, right? It's also one of the best places to understand why Jeju Haenyeo culture was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. It's not just about fishing, it's about community, resilience, knowledge of nature, and the strength of Jeju women across generations. Yes, okay, so yeah. Well done with that. Why don't we just move right along, huh? Let's do that. Let's move right into the news. Let's do this. We're back, and now it's time for Jeju Morning News Briefing. A foreign tourist, okay, now this is interesting. A foreign tourist who illegally entered a restricted area of Sangbangsan Mountain ended up getting lost Monday evening, triggering a large-scale nighttime rescue operation involving police, firefighters, and even a helicopter. So if you are not familiar with Sangbangsan, it is a very, it really sticks out. So Jeju has the massive Halasan mountain. That's the massive volcano right in the center, right? It's, Jeju is what we call a shield volcano island with the volcano, boop, right in the middle. Okay, but surrounding the Halasan are these smaller hills called odum, right? These volcanic parasitic cones, okay? But I think actually Sangbangsan is not a parasitic cone, but it is an odum. And it just sticks out like a I want to say like a sore thumb. It literally looks like a giant thumb sticking out. It's very uncharacteristic of the other odum around Jeju. It's very large. You can't miss it if you're driving by. It's just like this big. It looks like just a big round rock. Okay, so I guess a foreign tourist illegal entered a restricted area, and they got lost on Monday evening. Okay. According to Jeju police, the tourist, a Singaporean man in his 60s, entered the restricted zone around 4:30 p.m. on Monday without permission, reportedly for hiking purposes. The area has long been closed to the public for both cultural heritage protection and safety concerns. Then around 7:10 p.m., emergency services received a report that a foreign tourist appeared to be lost somewhere in Sangbangsan. Police and firefighters launched a nighttime. I have an image of that. Here we go. Okay. Police and firefighters launched a nighttime search operation, and after more than 2 hours, they finally located and rescued the man around 9:55 p.m. Thankfully, officials say he was not injured. Authorities are now investigating the case under Korea's Cultural Heritage Protection Act. Police reportedly secured photos and location search history from the tourist's phone to determine exactly how he entered the restricted area. Officials also reminded both tourists and residents that restricted zones around Sangbangsan are closed for a reason, not only to protect important cultural heritage sites, but also because rescue operations like this require major manpower, equipment, and create serious safety risks for everyone involved. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. Let's not do this. That last part kind of hits home. It's like if you're doing something like this just for the clout or just because you think it's cool, right? You're going into these blocked off areas, then where you're using these resources to come find you if you get lost, which is kind of a drag. So please respect the boundaries, and especially some of these are protected areas, historical areas. We're protecting them for your safety, but also to protect it from damage and other things. And Jeju is, man, it is surprise. You can get lost. You can get lost in Jeju. When people visit, I think they're surprised by still how wild it is in certain areas. We have the gochawa, we have the forest, and it gets very thick. It's almost like, how New Zealanders they consider it like the bush, or Australians call it the bush. We have our own version of the bush, where you can get lost very easily. So do be careful out there, guys, especially with more visitors coming into Jeju. Okay, moving on. Beep. Here we go. Oh, that's a fun little poster there. For those of us who live here on Jeju, it's easy to stick to the same roads and routines, but this June, there's a new reason to see the island differently, by running it. Ooh, 2026 Jeju Running Week is coming this June and is one of the main summer programs for the 2026, the Jeju 4-season visit year campaign. Wow, okay, so come. All 4 seasons. I'm here all 4 seasons. I'm not going anywhere. Running, very funny. Running from June 4th to June 30th. This is a stay and run tourism project where locals and visitors can explore Jeju by running across coastal roads, odum paths, and village routes. One of the main programs is Stamp Run Jeju. Participants run through designated courses around the island. They collect these stamps and complete a Jeju-style running challenge. Very nice. There will be art, run courses, hidden local scenic routes, and even rewards connected with local cafes and shops. I know some of our listeners are runners, so this sounds super cool. There's also Running Island, where runners take a boat out to Jeju's smaller islets, these smaller islands, for special running events. The Udo Run takes place on June 8th with a 13-kilometer coastal road course looking out towards Seongsan Ilchubong, plus icing and DJ programs after the run. Nice. Okay. Very cool. DJ programs. Nice. Then on June 12th, there's the Marado Run. Starting from Songaksan and heading to Korea's southernmost island, Marado. Yes, that's a small island, very windy, where you take a ferry to it, okay? This one includes team missions, photo runs, finisher medals, running goods, and local rewards. The event is open to both Jeju residents and visitors, and details on how to run and how to join will be posted on Instagram at Runners Jeju. Okay, so if you're looking for a different way to experience Jeju this summer, if you're a runner, you know, again, I know there are some folks who listen to this who are proper runners. Maybe just don't walk around, just run it, right? Okay, so do check that out. Very cool. I need to get back into running, man. I need to get my cardio up. I'm lifting a lot of weight, but my cardio is pretty trash right now. I need to get on that. Okay, moving on. Beep. Now I was super confused by this image at first. I'm like, what is this Christmas stuff going on? But if you look a little bit closer, it's not entirely Christmas, okay? Jeju City Agricultural Cooperative, or Nonghyap, is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a special drawing contest for elementary school students. Nice. The event is called the Gyulnoru Drawing Contest, and it will take place on May 30th at Jeju Citizen Welfare Town. The theme is Beautiful Jeju, Delicious Jeju, Cute Jeju. Nice. Students are invited to draw Jeju's nature, local farm products, animals, landscapes, or even what they imagine Jeju's future to look like, okay? There will also be several family-friendly programs at the venue, including free lemon 100 tastings, vegetable seedling give. Oh, I'm about that. Vegetable seedling giveaways. Oh, this is for children. I don't want to take. It's not like taking candy from a kid. It's like taking these little seedlings from a kid. Because I got a garden. I always want to plant new stuff in. So, no, I'll leave it for the kids. I'm not going to start like taking these little seedlings from kid. Oh, this is nice. CPR education, health checkups, and also a missing child prevention campaign. Students who want to join should register online by May 22nd. That is very soon. That's just in 2 days, okay? So, and the mascot for the contest is the Gyulnoru, is Gyulnoru. That's the name of this guy. A cute Jeju roe deer. Yes, we do have a native deer character with magical antlers that grow tangerines. Nice. In the story, Gyulnoru travels around Jeju searching for delicious tangerines. I also feel like Gyulnoru is kind of like a little Johnny Appleseed of sorts for the Americans, because as the Gyul fall off his or her antlers, you know, they spread the seeds across the island too. So that's super cool. That's cute. That's adorable. Very nice. Okay. Why don't we move on? Up, Neela is climbing on the table. Okay. Can you see her? Okay, thanks, Neela. Okay, let's move on to our next song here. This is a nice one. Totally fits the vibe. This is Reflection You by Others May Forget You, But Not I. Gecko Radio in the Morning, the only station out of the GEC Jeju. That's right, the only station based out of the GEC, Global Education City, Jeju. We're not giving up that title soon. Hopefully not. Please, nobody take my idea. All right. We are back checking out the chat here. Sherry says she's imagining me fighting a bunch of kids when seed packs are thrown out into the crowd. No, I wouldn't do that. If anything, I would like lift the kids by the collars and, try to have them catch all the seed packs. Maybe then give me one or two if they have any extra. Even though my writer wife says she can picture that. And Sherry says, tell us you're an ajashi without telling us you're an ajashi. How do I do that? What happened the other day, I was at the fitness center. I was at the gym and I got some water and I took a swig and then I was just like, like that. And the trainer, she was walking by me. She just looks at me and lets out a huge burst of laughter because I just must have sounded like a massive ajash right there. Just loudly, rudely, just making sounds. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just a universal thing across any culture. When you just get older, you're like, okay, yep. You just grumble and stuff to yourself. Nobody's there. I'm finding I'm doing that all the time. So there you go. That's how I tell people I'm ajashi without literally telling them I'm ajashi. Okay, moving on to what is going down in the GEC. It's a beautiful day in the GEC, a beautiful day in the GEC.
Would you be my
neighbor? Okay, here we go. This one is super cool. Let's check this out here. Okay, this is a big shout out to the SJA, that's St. Johnsbury Academy Jeju parent group, awesome, who recently visited Halim Animal Shelter to volunteer with the dogs. Very cool. Couple things. Animal Shelter, Halim Animal Shelter was already previously featured on the show, working with KASJ. So now they're working, and that was with kindergartners at KAS, but now they're working with parents at SJ, which is super awesome. You guys, that is great. Shout out to Halim Animal Shelter and shout out to these awesome parents who are helping out. Okay. Even on a rainy day, they helped clean both the indoor and outdoor areas. Oh man, I'll tell you what, like, that is the hardest day to recruit volunteers, are the rainy days and the humid days at the dog shelter, because the humidity's up, it's wet, it gets a bit messy, you know what I mean? So it's harder to get volunteers. So it's awesome. So even on a rainy day, these parents, they help clean both the indoor and outdoor areas. They spent time caring for the pups and also donated drinks for the shelter volunteers. That's amazing, which apparently made the shelter fridge look very well stocked. Ooh. Yes, I mean, that the fact that these parents helped the volunteers out is amazing, right? So a big warm thank you to the SJA parents for showing up, helping out, and supporting both the animals and the people who care for them at Halim Animal Shelter. They're always looking for volunteers, so go ahead and do check out Halim Animal Shelter on Instagram. They're great. They're great. They've always been great. So if you're looking to help out, go ahead and do it. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Here's something interesting for families, teachers, and anyone raising bilingual kids here in Jeju. This is super cool. Check this out here. Okay, let me move this down. Let me bring this down a little bit. There you go. Okay. Look at that. Nice. This is a new bilingual children's picture book called Piljun's Gifts. And it's being created right here on the island, inspired by Jeju's nature, folklore, caves, forests, and traditional shamanic beliefs. Yes, the story follows a young boy named Piljung as he turns 10 and begins learning about local spirits and village traditions. But the big question throughout the book is, are the spirits actually real, or is there another explanation? The creators say they intentionally left room for different interpretations, hoping families and teachers can discuss the themes together with young readers. That is awesome, okay? The book, it will be published in both English and Korean and was created by Jeju-based artists Daniel Doherty and Agne Latine. Latinine. Yes, Latinine. Okay. Daniel has worked on educational content for children in Korea and China, where Agne has a longtime Jeju resident, who is a longtime Jeju resident, known for combining mythology, color, and island-inspired imagery in her artwork. The creators, they say the project was heavily inspired by Jeju folklore, shamanic traditions, and conversations with anthropologist Giuseppe Rositano, who studied Jeju's spiritual culture and sacred spaces. So they're currently running a Kickstarter campaign to support a larger print and run bilingual production costs. So that's awesome. So if you're interested in Jeju culture, bilingual storytelling, or locally made children's books, both in English and Korean, Piljun's Gifts might be one to keep an eye on. So it's still in the process. Getting that Kickstarter, that'd be super awesome if you guys could help out. Very cool. Nice. All right, we are moving right along here. Let's do another song. This is great. This is again by our newly recruited artist westealoranges, Wet Together.
비 내리는 거리 아래서 yeah, yeah. 기분 좋게 촉촉히 젖어 yeah. 네가 올 걸 난 알기에 yeah. 우산 따위는 필요 없어 마치 영화의 한 장면처럼 마침 이 거리엔 아무도 없어 너만 괜찮다면 oh no oh yeah 너만 괜찮다면 oh no oh yeah 지금 이대로 서로를 끌어안고 Let's get wet together Baby I want you 그냥 우릴 이대로 둬 영원히 서로의 마음 안에 잠길 수 있게 wet together
눈 감아온 것도 보이지 않게 걱정만 누구보다 부드럽게 Your day and what I want 모든 제쳐놓고 몰두하게 만들래 낮엔 griffin 밤엔 slithering Can you feel me the snakes in your body 불을 붙인다 약속한 듯이 들이붙지 정신 좀 표정 No you want me and I want you 많은 별이 우리 비춰 춤을 춰 Oh yeah And I'm pretty sure that we will shine when you're smiling at this planet. 일주에선 마음껏 젖어도 돼.
Let's get wet together Baby I want you 그냥 우릴 이대로 둬 영원히 서로의 마음 안에 잠길 수 있게 wet together Baby I want you 그냥 우릴 이대로 둬 영원히 서로의 마음 안에
All right, that was Wet Together by westealoranges. That is a cool song. Those guys are They're awesome, and they're just so nice. That's the thing that bothers me, is that they're just so sweet. I met them in person a few years ago, but they were just really cool guys. They didn't have to be, because they were young and cool, way cooler than me. But they were super friendly and happy to strike a conversation with me. All right, so let's move on to our Wednesday segment. This is Island Icons. That's our Island Icons soundbite. Okay, this one is really, 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 really special. Really special. Okay, here we go. Let's bring her up right now. Look at that. Okay, today's Island Icon is Bu Chun-hwa. Bu Chun-hwa, one of the most important figures in modern Jeju history and a symbol of resistance, courage, and collective action. Born in 1908 in Harori in the northeast Jeju, she was a Haenyeo who became a key leader of the 1932 Jeju Haenyeo Anti-Japanese Movement. Now, at the time, Jeju Haenyeo were being heavily exploited under Japanese colonial rule. Japanese merchants and the colonial fishing system forced Haenyeo to sell their hard-earned seafood at unfairly low prices, while middlemen and fishing associations took huge cuts of their income. That's the other folks that we have to think about as well, the fishing associations and the middlemen in between. Many Haenyeo were left with only a fraction of what they earned through dangerous diving work. What made Bu Chun-hwa remarkable was that she didn't simply endure it quietly. Through night school education in Hado, she and fellow Haenyeo leaders developed political awareness and began organizing other Haenyeo across eastern Jeju. Now, that is fantastic. Also super dangerous, okay? In January 1932, thousands of Haenyeo joined protests across Gujwa, Sewa, Jongdal, Udo, Songsan, and nearby villages armed with traditional diving tools like bishchang and homi, like these sickles and these hooks. They marched, held rallies, confronted Japanese authorities directly, and demanded fair treatment, lower fees, and an end to Japanese exploitation. At one point, they even surrounded the Japanese Jeju governor's vehicle and demanded negotiations face to face. Wow, that is brave, super, super brave. And this wasn't just a local protest. The movement became one of the largest female-led anti-Japanese resistant movements in Korean history, involving roughly 17,000 participants over hundreds of demonstrations. It's also considered the largest fishermen's protest of the Japanese colonial era in Korea. Bu Chun-hwa was eventually arrested and imprisoned for her role in the protests, but her actions left a lasting legacy. Here's an image of her poster here, which is awesome. Decades later, the Korean government officially recognized her as an independence activist and awarded her the National Foundation Medal in 2003. She remains an important icon in Jeju because she represents several things all at once: the strength of leadership of Jeju women, resistance against exploitation and colonization, the solidarity of Haenyeo communities, and the idea that ordinary working people can create historic change together. If you go to the Haenyeo Museum, this statue here is made in commemoration of it. It's an amazing statue. Let me go ahead. Can I, make this bigger? No. Okay. Here, let me make this bigger. It's very large and it's really something to behold. So if you go to the Jeju Museum, Jeju Haenyeo Museum, please do check that statue out. They also have, I do remember they also have busts of prominent Haenyeo of this movement as well on the right side of the statue too. So that is super awesome. So yes, we really need to thank Samchun Bu Chun-hwa for her bravery, and it's amazing that she went to night school. She got educated, and she gathered all these other Haenyeo in protest. It's really amazing stuff. It's so cool to learn about this too. Okay, so why don't we move on to our next song? And this one, so we're going to move on to our next song, and then we're going to end with our Jeju word of the day. This one is by C.Cle, and it's called Her.
What? Wait.
I get in trouble 위험해
No way.
사랑에 빠지는 건 저주 또는 선물 야수 like a ball But love is poison I can't no 빠질 수밖에 right
My honey, would you die for me?
You already know I'm falling
애매한 태도는 I don't need
You drive me crazy 언제 처음에 널 봤을 때부터 범패 범상치 않은 몸짓 넌 제멋대로 춤을 췄지 화장기 옅은 얼굴 한 고집해 보이는 입술 불미한 패션까지 마치 차가운 도시 안의 기조 신비로워 I never seen it before MBTI 측정 불가능 어쩌면 연일지도 너에게 다가가는 건 위험한 짓일지도 그런데 어느새 너 제빠져 버린 내 노래 너의 향기 목소리 두둠치 댄스까지 계속 맴돌아 I get in trouble now Oh no
Wait.
I can't no 빠질 수밖에 위험해
No way.
사랑에 빠지는 건 저주 또는 선물 야수 like a ball But love is poison I can't no 빠질 수밖에 right
My honey, would you die for me?
You already know I'm falling
애매한 태도는 I don't need
널 좀 더 알고 싶어 May I follow you first Text me, send them to me At me 친한 친구 list 우린 관심사 음악 취향 딱 맞아 All day and night I watch your story I put like 위험해 넌채 빠져버렸네 난 처음부터 I can't even relax 너 춤추고 싶어 대화하고 싶어 다가가고 싶어 I got 난이 난 팔로 But you're the one 너의 향기 목소리 두둠치 댄스까지 계속 맴돌아 I get in trouble now Oh no
Wait.
I can't no 빠질 수밖에 위험해 사랑에 빠지는 건 저주 또는 선물 야수 like a ball But love is poison I can't no 빠질 수밖에 위험해 사랑에 빠지는 건 저주 또는 선물 야수 like a ball But love is poison I can't no 빠질 수밖에 right
Okay, we are back. All right, we are back. Anila is starting to get antsy and she's communicating, hey, hang out with me. I really feel like I said this yesterday. I think she knows we're about to rap. She's clever, dude. Okay. Let's see. Sherry says she gave us some cool stuff about the Jeju International Tourism Marathon Festival, June 7th, and the Jeju Autumn Trail Run is on June 13th. That is very cool. Thanks for that. We'll probably look into that and cover that later. Thanks. Okay, so moving on. Why don't we do our last part of the day? That is Jeju Word of the Day.
The Jeju word of the day.
Yeah. I also harmonized that too. I learned how to harmonize that break. Okay, Jeju Word of the Day. Neela is putting her toy on my knee. Really, she knows it. We're about to wrap here. Jeju Word of the Day. Let's put it up. Boop. Okay, Neela. Thanks, babes. Okay, her head is on my leg here. Okay, Jeju Word of the Day is bultuk. Bultuk. Now, bultuk was a traditional gathering space. I got a picture of it right here. Nice. Traditional gathering space used by Haenyeo. After coming out of the sea, divers would gather around a fire to warm themselves, change clothes, rest, share food, exchange news, and teach younger divers. Yes, okay, so you got the fire in the center there, and there's kind of a hierarchy to who sits where. Like the head Haenyeo kind of sits at the front, and then the younger Haenyeo and the less experienced and less ranking Haenyeo kind of like go around. It could be clockwise or counterclockwise, probably depends on the village. But if you can see in that image, can I bring that up? Let me make that a little bit bigger, okay? You can see this is a big village. Wow. Okay, you can also see that their bultak is protected by rocks. So it kind of makes this like rock ring around, and obviously that protects them from the elements, from the wind, and also keeps the fire, right? So yes, they do all these things. They talk about the dive, they do a little village gossip, that good stuff. Now, the word combines both bul, meaning fire, and tok, meaning a raised stone platform or space. So literally, it's kind of like a fire gathering place. But culturally, the bultak was much more than just somewhere to warm up. It was the social heart of the Haenyeo community. It's a place where knowledge, village news, diving techniques, and even life advice were passed down between generations. And speaking of bultak, there's actually a bultak talk show happening at the Jeju Haenyeo Museum. Ooh, oh yeah, okay. JY, along with Migo Kenya Kylie and two Haenyeo from Yeonrak Village, will be there at 3 p.m. today. Today, yes, they're headed out. They're going to share stories, talking with visitors about Haenyeo life and Jeju culture. So if you happen to be out near Sehwa today, go check them out. Okay, that's at the museum there. It could be really meaningful event to check out. So yes, the bultak. The village that we are part of, they don't really have an operating bultak. We just have our Haenyeo station, the building, where pretty much the same thing happens, except for the fire indoors. You don't do that. But pretty much the same thing, you know, gathering around, talking about the dive, doing some village gossip, you know, having some food after burning some calories. So super cool. Still very happy and so blessed that I'm a part of that community. Okay, that does it for today. Hey, our number count was pretty good for a late day, for a late school day. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks for being, you know, if you're on the chat, thank you so much. Please, we encourage more folks to share and talk on the chat. Hey, for real, you guys. This show is to give our listeners a chance to not only listen in English, but also communicate in English as well. Please, the culture is in the chat, especially with Arirang, is my dog is getting pretty antsy, is that the folks actually talk to each other through the chat. They say, hello, how you doing? And they remember each other's names. So, you know, if you are a Jeju person, Korean person, please talk on the chat, and this gives you a chance to communicate in English with native speakers. It's a nice little lesson you could have there, okay? All right, so thank you again so much for joining us for today, Wednesday. Tomorrow is our Thursday segment, Jeju Recipe of the Week. Very nice. Big thank you to all the amazing musicians who encouraged us to take on this project. Huge thanks to westealoranges who just joined Gecko Radio. Super thank you. Thank you to Chige at Malang Forest for being our mascot, our unofficial mascot. And thank you to JY Choi, who is the writer, who pretty much just holds this ship together. Okay, so why don't we finish things off here, and I'll see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow on Thursday. This is also another pillar group of Gecko Radio. This is Wednesday off. Bye-bye, my Blackbird.
You know, last summer days and night, I realized that all the love is truth. But if I didn't get their love, I would have never ever known your love in my life. So bye bye, my blackbirds, you're gonna be loved. Remember when you came into my life, I was angry to see your big black wings. But if I hadn't seen those wings, I didn't know how to see the world with my love. So bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. So long to my mistakes, so long to my old days, so long. Bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. So long to my mistakes, so long to my old days, so long. Bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. Remember when you came into my life, I was angry to see your big black wings. But if I hadn't seen those wings, I didn't know how to see the world with my love. So bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. So long to my mistakes, so long to my old days, so long. Bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. So long to my mistakes, so long to my old days, so long. Bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. When I wonder if you never came to, my life is still mad like it used to be. But still I hope one day you come back as up to me. Yeah, you come back as up to me. Yeah, 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 yeah. So long to my mistakes, so long to my old days, so long. Bye bye my blackbird, you're gonna be loved. So long to my mistakes, so